We're alive. Or alive. Stephen, hello, sir. Oh, why is that not? I think that's a little caught up. Nope. I did not catch up on the other chat. Adam Hall, hello, sir. Maybe this one. Maybe if I reload the whole page. Technical difficulties on the chat end.
It's my fault.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Uncle Guns, hello.
Hello, sirs.
Tonight's live chat sponsored by 0241 Tactical. They were cool enough to send us this. I was supposed to be wearing it, but I got this U.S. Forces jacket. You'll see it on the social medias tomorrow when I get some pictures of it. And Rock God Brewing Company, purveyors of fine brews. Tonight is Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's bourbon aged, barrel aged Belgian ale.
It's a Belgian ale aged in barrels. And it's
Like Donkey Kong barrels.
It's delightful.
Delightful. Dig the ghost themed rifle. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The sim gun. So that is a Blackbeard battery pack with the Ghost magazine and a Gemtech inert can with the Ghost shrink wrap around it.
They custom made it for us.
Yeah, of course, because they were like, "Oh, you want to? We'll sponsor you."
Big deal over here.
Don't forget the cool Git fiddle back there behind TJ. It is not TJ's guitar, but it is a guitar that TJ has played a few flex and riffs on.
I have. Did some work on its nut because Jackson doesn't know how to put a nut on their guitar. Yeah,
certainly not the Korean-made Jackson people. Maybe the other ones. I don't know. It's a pretty cheap.
I got a Chinese one. Same problem.
Yep. That might be Chinese. I don't know where the fuck it was made. I know it wasn't made in Japan or the USA.
No.
TJ is subtly the most talented man of the modern age. Oh, do you know that?
Wow, I do. Hello, Steven.
Because I don't know him. He seems like a plant.
I paid a lot of people for tonight.
And all Aiden came up with was hello.
Yeah, he didn't get paid.
Oh.
He's not going to get paid. You can't get your nut twisted.
Ew, yeah.
Twisted nuts is bad.
There was a certain angle of the dangle that was wrong with my nut.
After the dog bit it off.
Just the one nut, like Hitler. All right. Let's see. What are we going to talk about tonight? Klaus is going to interject himself at the door.
He's going to kick the door in. He wants to hang out with me so bad.
And even Molly came all the way up here. Like, she doesn't come up here for me.
It's a big deal.
So things on the agenda. Tomorrow is a workshop. That's what you're down here for, correct?
Shooting and moving.
Shooting and moving.
Shooting while moving, hopefully.
Hopefully. We're going to do a little bit of both. Some shooting while moving and then shooting and then moving. Mm-hmm. And with rifles. All rifle stuff. Somebody in this chat has been in that workshop before.
Ooh.
Adam Hall. He took it in Tennessee last year.
Oh, cool. Now
he is an expert at shooting on the move.
Congrats.
I don't know if he's done anything that we did in that class since then, but he at least looked good in class.
The Instagram pictures is all you need.
Yeah, he looked good in the Instagram photos. If I'm not mistaken, he had an AK go down.
Ooh. Good job.
It might not have been his.
He fucked up good.
There were 3 AKs and 2 of them went down.
Was it inclement weather? Or?
No, weather was beautiful. I don't remember. Well, one of them was a piece of shit that Tim Morris brought. And he had the magazines he had were so rusty. He found them in his airplane hangar. I helped him clean it out when I was down there.
Uh-huh.
And there was ammo in it. And he said, these magazines are rusted the fuck. And I was like, yep, Tim, they are. He goes, I will fix them with Rust-Oleum. In my mind, that meant you wire wheel them and then paint them.
Yeah.
And his mind was he lays them on a cardboard box in his on his patio.
Right on top.
Didn't take the ammo out. Just
It says rust on the can.
it says rust only. I'm only eating my rust. And then it was Adams. He confirmed it was his AK that went down. So it must have been
7.62 or
yes.
Oh, it was the right one at least.
Yep, and it wasn't
the big one.
It wasn't like a Romanian one or something that's crappy either. I'm not going to mention the name, but it was not one that you would have expected to have an issue.
Uh-oh.
But at any rate, that's what you're down here for. We're going to do some shooting and moving tomorrow.
Yep, I'm excited.
And
let me level us out a little bit.
Oh,
chair doesn't go down anymore.
So maybe mine needs to come up some. Oh, that's as high as. Oh, mine goes down. I already had it as high as it went.
All right. Nobody needs to know.
No. So that is the prime directive. It was to come down for the workshop. But since you were coming down a day early, we're going to hit out this live chat.
Hell yeah. Special edition Friday. Moved it just for me.
Yep.
Better watch it.
That was the whole purpose of moving. It had nothing to do with me being in class on Wednesday.
Did you get the best score in the class?
I did. On the written test, I got a 96%.
Ooh.
And on the shooting portion, I scored a 149 out of 150. And I think the next highest was a 142. I could be mistaken, but the guy that got the 142 told me that he had the second highest in class. So I just took his word for it.
That's what I would tell the guy who has the highest score in class. I'd be like, damn, I had the second highest
I was
score.
number 2 with
right
142.
Damn, Klaus.
Damn, he is unhappy out there.
Luckily, I didn't wear black pants for once, so you can still see my legs.
No German Shepherd hair just covering you.
I'm excited for tomorrow. Shooting and moving are both good. And if you can do them at the same time,
even better.
Even better. It's not often you get to do that.
All right, so I'm texting Benjamin to see if maybe Klaus wants to.
We're all getting text.
So I had a couple of things to discuss with you. As the what would I call you? I don't want to say perfect, but what the kind of student that everybody wishes all their students were like.
Oh,
you do a lot. You take a lot of classes, and then you go practice the things from class because we talk about them. You're like, hey, I was doing this, and I was like, man, he's fucking like he gives a shit. Like he's not one of those students that says, well, I checked the box, I took the class.
Yep,
I'll take it again next year.
Yeah, I've got my driver's permit. I figured it out.
Yep, I don't need anything else.
Good.
You're the guy that goes home and says, so I went and tried some stuff and I worked on this and this is what I found. So I was like, all right, as a student, perfect. This is the kind of student I want to talk to and when I want to interview on Liveshat.
Well, thank you for having me here.
But also, you're quite musically talented. And not only do I rope you into fixing my guitar.
Yep.
I also roped you into making the introduction music for my YouTube channel.
Yep.
The intro and the outro music.
Rise of the Legion.
Yes. The unnamed song for many years.
Yeah. And then it took like 10 years to come up with a name.
What's funny is, and I probably have told this story a couple of times. Obviously, you know the story, but for you all out there, I had an idea in my head of what I wanted the outro noise to sound like. So I was like, yeah, it needs to be like, and that's what's going on in my head. So I type it out, the sound I hear in my head. And I was like, yeah, this is a terrible way to convey a sound to someone. And TJ's like, all right, I think I understand what you want. And then like 2 days later, I get this little file back and it's the sound that I had in my head made on a guitar. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and pat myself in the back for being able to type out sounds well.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with your talent.
You wrote the song, essentially.
You just recorded it.
I just recorded it, yeah.
So that part was I thought was really cool. That the thing I heard in my head, he could pick up from what I typed him. Where was I going with all this? Oh, so I asked you to do it because I had heard some of the music you had recorded, which you all have heard some of it as well. The music that played during the countdown was off of an album that you recorded.
Yep, that's the first Deodon album. I thought it sounded familiar. I was like, man, somebody's ripping my shit off.
Where did he find that music? It sounds just like mine.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the intro music.
So,
it's the intro song. It should be the intro music. And
very fitting for that.
I'm getting messages. I have to say hello to Kim and Glenn, my uncle and aunt, and Greg.
Oh, wow. They're all watching?
They're all watching me on the
Man,
on the
you
TV.
like doubled my viewership.
Maybe we'll get a sponsorship. Free ammo for life. Hello, Nick. Glad you made it. So Nick is awesome. He's a Pennsylvania fella. And
I've seen his name before. Why?
He may have popped on before, but
okay.
I've done a bunch of classes with him and Chris Bondi.
Oh, okay.
And you need to come hang out with us and do some stuff.
You could drive up tomorrow morning if you want.
Yeah.
We'll make space for you.
He's probably, actually, I think Chris is doing an AK class right now.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I wanted to do it, but I didn't have I signed up for this and it didn't work out. I found out about that app. It didn't work out. Anyway, you're pretty damn close. You're like 30 minutes away, not even. So you
oh, damn. Yeah, Nick, we need to be friends.
He's a good fella. He's so handsome too. Look at him.
Well, the picture is really small. Maybe I met Nick at Chris's class the first time Chris came up to LCPC, PCPC. If Nick was there.
You might have.
I might have. That might be why his name's familiar. There's
a
bunch of people there. So
I believe he was in the first class I did with Chris.
So
who was also good. Let's
we
gotta plug all the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Regular guy training is awesome too.
Yep.
He's cool.
You know, the only complaint about regular guy training is the patch has the big T in orange and then the R and the G surrounding it. So it looks like it's RTG instead of RGT.
I don't know how to read, so it never bothered me.
Well, I used to work for a company whose initials were RTG. Yeah. So I see that patch and I'm like, and it's in my truck, like on the headrest of my driver's seat. So I see it all the time. And I keep thinking that there's a Rockwell Tactical Group patch there. I'm like, no, it's regular guy training. The T actually goes after I get where he's going with the stylized.
It looks cool.
I just don't want anyone to think I'm advertising for my old employer.
No.
So there's my complaint, the patch.
We'll have Nick get on that. He'll fix it.
Yeah. Tell Chris that he needs to change his patch for me.
Hello, Javier. Hello, sir. Yes, it is me.
Is it?
I did
like he didn't know.
It says it right on the thing. I did a trip and I didn't get time to say hello because you were like 6 hours north of where I was.
Oh,
apparently it's big.
Florida's
it's big down there.
Long.
It's big down there.
African American. Oh,
Mason-Dixon line or whatever. Yeah. So training stuff is good.
And then
we all like that.
We want to chat a little bit about music ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you have stuff that the viewers can purchase over on your Bandcamp page.
Oh yeah. So I've got many many bands and many secret things. It's all the same. Pro tip, it's all the same. Flex and Riffs is kind of like my studio, the home studio, and that's like my label. And out of that, I run a couple of different bands or whatever. And I'm also in Deodon, which is like my crazy death metal band. It sounds like pigs getting shot with a machine gun. If you like that kind of thing, some people do apparently, because we sell CDs and stuff. We got signed to a French label for some reason. I don't know why the French like it, but they do. So we're big in Europe, hopefully big in Japan, because Tom Waits is cool. But yeah, so I got that. And then Flex and Riffs, I do a lot of like cover songs just for fun, mostly just to practice mixing and mastering and stuff. Recently we did, yep.
So is this all you?
Yeah, it's all me. We did Fixation on the Darkness recently.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dragonaut cover. That's a sleep cover. Did Mississippi Queen. That one's fun. You're technically not allowed to buy them, so don't give me any money. You can listen to them though, because I didn't ask these guys to play their songs.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. They don't like that.
But can I just tip you? But the Deodon albums.
Those you can totally buy. That's all us.
All right.
Yep.
If I pronounced it incorrectly.
No, it's correct.
Drop
It's
it.
actually Latin for terrible pig.
Oh.
It was a giant boar-like monster.
Is that what one of the how do I there? I'm not on the Flex and Riffs page.
You would have to go to the Deodon page to see that. I'm also in a horrible goth rock band called Succubus with Cam. Shout out to Cam Zig. That album's coming eventually. Second album.
Is it this one?
Yes. If you look at our logo for Deodon, you would notice, if you look closely, there's the skull of a Deodon in the logo. There
That's
it is.
so metal.
You can't see it while I point at it, but Gary can.
Yeah, I can see it. I wonder if I can.
If you look at the all the skulls, each one of those skulls is a different extinct animal, and each song's about a different animal because we're nerds.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was going to. I guess
I
can
play
do
bass in this band, and I do vocals.
I can do this. This is what I meant to do in the beginning. Was give them a link.
Oh, sweet! Thank you.
Here's where I was going with that. That's why I came over here.
Yep, we got downloads. I still have CDs left if you like real CDs. Some people like those. I still buy CDs.
I like them better.
I've got like 2 shirts left. We'll probably do new shirts for the new album when it comes out. It's mostly done.
So when you do shirts, this is my request. If you could make them out of something not like a World War II burlap from like a tent, that would be great.
Our shirts were really nice, actually. They're super soft, and they're not like silk screen with like a thing that comes off. It's kind of like this, where it's like in the material. Maybe I'll custom make you.
It was heavy.
Yeah,
I like them real, like the tri-blends.
so you can move faster.
Yes, because when you're this slow, you need every bit of help you
got to
can
increase the horsepower somehow. Yes, Steven got a special edition one with cats on it.
Oh wow!
We did a
So if he
special
can get a
edition.
special edition with cats, I should be able to get a special
All right,
edition.
fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll just hand draw it on a shirt from Walmart.
That would be even better. I don't think Walmart has nice shirts though. Like the neck will probably rip off right away.
Yeah. We made condoms too. Surprisingly, everybody wanted those too.
Huh.
Hopefully, I don't know if they work or not. They're probably from China.
They're novelty condoms.
Yes, they're novelty. Don't sue me if it doesn't work out.
If you get the HIV, that's on you. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that there was some links. I want to do the Flex and Riffs link as well, which is back here.
Yeah, the Flex and Riffs page is pretty slow. It's just whenever I do like a cover for fun to practice mixing or just cool songs I like, throw those up there. We got an obituary one coming out.
Ooh.
Me and my buddy Jimmy. That's pretty much finished. We're just waiting on him to finish some parts. And what else is coming up? We're gonna do another Kill Switch one.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, everybody has to guess.
Oh, I'm gonna go with I have a hunch. We'll call it a hunch. It's been semi-confirmed that the last Kill Switch song might have been partially directed on which song you wanted by my preference for that you did my favorite Kill Switch song.
I did do your favorite.
So I may have had some influence in there. So I'm hesitant to guess on the second one for fear that I may influence you to change your mind and do
I'll
something.
probably just do all of them.
Other than in due time. I'm totally big In Due Time, which was like the first single after Jesse came back. Now, if you had 2 singers, you could do the Signal Fire.
I do. We do have 2 singers. We have many singers.
Well, there you go. You could.
All right. I'll think about it.
See, and now if you sing Howard Jones' part, it's better than Howard.
No.
Yes,
No,
I'm telling
crazy.
you. Like
you're crazy.
You all should go listen to the Fixation on the Darkness single that TJ has on his Bandcamp.
It's all auto-tune. It's fake.
And I'll get you that particular link here. You should go listen to it.
Well, thank you for sharing all my silly little projects with everybody.
And then go listen to the video from Kill Switch, because in the video version, it's Howard Jones singing.
Yeah.
The album version is Jesse Leach.
Yeah, the original was him.
So if you compare it to the Howard version, I believe that anybody with the same level of ear that I have would prefer the Flex and Riffs version to the Howard Jones version. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. The money will be deposited by the end of the week.
He didn't have enough to pay for better than Jesse Leach's version, but
No, nobody can beat him. He's the original. He's awesome.
he's pretty.
I'm glad he's back. He's having fun too. He needed some time off, and he got it, and now he's kicking ass. Good for him.
Yep. I was playing him for Benjamin today, and we went and looked at I can't remember what song. It was the Jesse Leach song from back in the day before he left, and he looked like a little kid, and they all look like little kids with their little spiky blonde hair and stuff, and then I went and watched shit from Current, and I was like, oh, it's hard to like if I didn't know who those guys were, I'd have never guessed this was the same band.
Yeah.
But strangely enough, they all smile more. Like all the new videos, they're not just trying to look angry and play guitar. Like there's like
that's all.
like
that's so 2000s.
Yeah, you got to be young and full of angst. Like hey guys, you're in your 40s.
Yeah,
you should smile.
Mm-hmm. Look up Adam D's got a funny video. He was on The Price is Right. I don't know how he got on there, the guitarist, and he won. He won. It's the funniest video
was
ever.
It before he was famous?
No.
Was it a celebrity?
No, he just snuck his way on there, and they're like, "Come on down," or whatever they say.
Oh,
I think they say that.
Wow.
Javier wants to know what my favorite band is. I don't really have a favorite band because I listen to a lot of different things. So it's more like I go through phases.
What's your current phase then?
My current phase. Ooh. Right now, I'm in the Florida death metal scene from the '90s with Obituary because we're working on that cover. So I've been listening to a bunch of that stuff. And then right before that was like 80s Japanese music.
I don't know if I know any 80s Japanese music.
I'll send you some links.
Okay.
It's like what you would listen to if you're like driving in a Ferrari in sunset. It's weird.
Okay.
It's good stuff. Calming.
In the last week, I have listened to some Japanese music.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to a boatload of baby metal driving back and forth to Nanacoke every day for the classes I was in. And something popped up on my Instagram with baby metal. I was like, oh, I haven't heard them in forever. And I don't know them well. I don't know any of the lyrics, obviously, to anything.
Me either.
So I don't know the names of any of the songs, but I just got them on Spotify, hit shuffle, and listened to stuff, and was like, that is so freshly unique.
Yeah. I never really listened to them. I'll have to check them out.
I was like, they don't sound like
seen them.
Everything else. So.
They don't look like anything else.
Nope.
They have their own thing going.
And I wouldn't be like, oh man, I got to go see them live, and they're awesome, and I'm gonna put the posters up in my bedroom. But I can appreciate that they aren't like everything else. Like they're definitely doing their own thing.
Javier likes Black Sabbath and Tool. Good choices. Those are poster worthy for sure. Black Sabbath kind of started it all for me. They're fucking awesome.
I wonder if Tool posters are like Tool songs, really big.
They're really big, and
it takes you like 20 minutes to just look at it.
To look at
the other.
And you turn on a black light, and there's another secret poster inside the original poster.
Oh yeah, I like Easter eggs. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we talked about Easter eggs. I know the secret of First Wave.
He does.
I'm not gonna tell you guys.
The what's great about Tool is like there'll be a really cool guitar riff, and you're like, man, that's cool. And by the 13th or 14th time that it's played in a row, and you go, yeah, I'm kind of over it. You can scroll through all the other metal channels on XM, and when you're like, no, best choice is Tool. When you get back to it, it's still the same riff.
Still going.
It's like you never missed anything.
Well, if you have a good riff, never stop playing it. That's why I love doom metal and stoner rock and stoner doom and whatnot. They just pick one cool one. They do it for like 14 minutes.
And
that's it.
What more could you ask for?
Can't beat it. Windhand is awesome. If you're into something like that. Sun is good. I can't see. I don't know which direction things go.
Everything's backwards.
And everything's backwards. They're good. I saw them. Probably one of the loudest bands ever. Makes your intestines shake. It's pretty cool.
So, like, if you're all bound up, like, that's a good show.
Oh, it'll get it out. The old brown note.
Yeah. Javier says he's an old guy because he picked Tool and who was the other one?
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. Okay, Black Sabbath does date you.
They're
that says you could be like if you were into Black Sabbath when they
came out,
you'd be old. But like,
ooh, John likes Malmsteen. Speaking of Malmsteen, we were just talking. I I bought a beautiful aged white Strat with the giant 70s headstock so I can pretend I'm Malmsteen.
Are you going to scallop the fretboard?
I don't think so. I do have a scallop Strat for that though. I started learning Black Star, one of his songs. It's fucking hard.
So
apparently it's hard to play 8 million notes per second.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Especially if you want them to always be the same notes.
Yeah.
Like I can just play a million notes.
You can play all the wrong ones pretty quick.
Yeah.
He could play right notes faster than you can play wrong ones.
Yeah, that's the sad part. What's the scallop fretboard? I'm gonna have you scallop my fretboard on my custom guitar. Only the frets I don't use. So anything below like the 12th fret.
We'll just do all of them.
I don't use any of them.
They are really cool. They do feel really cool because you don't feel the wood at all. You're just like floating on there.
Oh, Sonny is on. Hello, sir.
He likes Tool too. We talked to him.
He does. Tool. Hard to beat Pantera.
Bob, you were correct. Those are all good guys. I saw Black Label Society. My favorite part was Zach Wilde went to go do a solo, and he's got this cable plugged in, and he's just like crowd surfing and going, and he just keeps going and going. And the cable is like 400,000 feet long. It was like literally like hundreds and hundreds of feet, and just kept going and going. And the whole audience was like holding up his cables. Then he's like standing on the bar, just ripping his solo and all that. And they're all like, "Yeah, we're holding up his cable." But he was probably wireless the whole time. But it didn't matter because it was so cool to have like a giant cable go across the whole stadium.
I saw Black Label twice, and once was at a bar in Allentown, the Crocodile Rock. And I was this far from Zach for a good 30 minutes of the show.
You can see under
I got beer spit on me and like whatever fluids he is drenched in during a show. Mm-hmm. I got some of them on me. I felt
good. It's good for
the need to disinfectate myself.
It happens.
Myself.
Yeah, they get sweaty up there. I saw Diane Word, and he jumped up and he like landed on me. It was the sweatiest man alive.
Like, oh, is that all?
They were fun. They had like giant inflatable wieners on stage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but not like realistic ones, like cartoony. So
I would hope they're
not gay, guys.
It's not like Gore, where they're like hitting you with that.
Hopefully, I see them eventually. I'd like to see them.
What else do you have up there?
What's his name?
Black Label, Lamb of God. Saw them a couple times. They were good.
Touching the microphone.
It also
touching the microphone.
Where was it? Slipknot. Saw them a couple times. I did not see Pantera, but I did see Damage Plan. So I got to see the Abbott brothers, and I got to drink with them after the show because they're awesome. Cool. So that was pretty cool.
Always nice. You know what my favorite thing is this logo you have here covering all the comments so nobody can read them.
Well, once somebody else, like if people, it inspires them, I got to say something so it pushes it below the logo. I can't. They won't let me move the logo. POD, never saw those guys. System of a Down, I've seen them a couple times. Got a guitar pick from Darren.
We were talking about Gary Hoey.
Oh yeah, man, what an awesome dude.
We both had interactions with Gary Hoey.
Yeah, yours was cooler than mine, but
it was pretty cool. We kissed, no big deal.
Yeah, whatever you're into.
You didn't get any questions today, huh?
No.
Damn, I have all the best questions. I do have a gnarly one for you.
I can go check though while we're here. Something went wrong. Fucking Facebook's gay.
Well, anyway, I'm excited for the workshop tomorrow. I like the idea of lots of one-day things spread out so you can keep up on your training versus like, I'm going to do like a 6-day class and then nothing for the rest of the year. And then next year I'll do another 6-day class and be right where I was last time.
By the time I'm done with it, I'll be at the same spot I was at the last day last time.
Turns out you have to do stuff if you want to be good at stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So you jumped in. I actually have a link I can share with folks. I put it out in the email. You jumped in on the workshop package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will put a link on. There's a couple slots left open for that, which was all 15 of the workshops that I'm running this year for the cost of like a 2-day class.
Which is incredible because you go to like 2 or 3 of them and the rest are free basically.
Yep. And the idea hit me driving back from the range and I was like, oh, I should do something like that. And just literally jumped on.
Yeah, I'm glad I caught it while there were spots left.
So I think this is where I'm leaning. This is a big announcement, I guess. So far, I've only told one person, and that's the
Oh.
16-year-old in the room next door.
Mm.
And that was earlier today. I'm thinking next year of focusing the entire
Wow.
training
That he's not chained up.
year.
It's not that kind of thing.
He is safe.
Yeah. I'm blinking Morse code.
Send a locksmith.
Yeah, he's fine.
Next year, I'm going to focus the
Mhm.
entire training year on one-day classes.
Ooh.
So I
Interesting.
probably will not run a dynamic pistol or a dynamic carbine here in Pennsylvania. Like a travel class, we'll figure out what works best for the travel class.
That makes sense.
But here, I would rather do, because I don't like to have a bunch of days in the month where I'm on the range. Like I try to keep it to the schedule I like. But instead of saying, hey, I'm going to do 1 2-day class a month, maybe I'll do 2 separate 1-day classes on different weekends. Or some of the months I'll back them up back to back so people can get doubles in or whatever. And then just taking small parts and focusing more on them. Like tomorrow, we're going to do a lot of the section of dynamic carbine that's on shooting and moving, but we're going to go further with it.
For like a whole day.
We're going to take that
Yeah.
one, 2-hour section or whatever and spread it over a whole day.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking next year I'll do that in a bunch of different areas. And
I think that's a good idea. I think it's really valuable for people who've taken something previously.
Yeah.
Instead of taking the same rifle class over and over,
yeah,
which is awesome and it's great. And you will get something different out of it every time. But you get little chunks of this and chunks of this because you got to try and jam it all in to give them what they're looking for. And if you've done that, taking a workshop is like, great, we're going to take this chunk and now we have a whole day instead of like, all right, we only have 2 or 3 runs of this one particular thing, and you can work on it and maybe even improve. And
so like next, is it in April? Might be in May, is a shooting and moving pistol workshop.
Mm-hmm.
We won't ever talk about the draw. Like I don't have to, we're going to stop and go back to the draw like we would in the beginning of dynamic pistol. So if you were taking dynamic pistol a second time, the beginning of day 1, we're going to start on the draw. But if you just want to work on the shooting and moving, you take the shooting and moving pistol workshop, and I'll just expect you to be able to draw the fucking gun. And then, so we don't have to like cover that other thing extra.
Yeah.
You can just focus on the part that wants more time.
You have more time to get in depth on it. And like, you have questions like a really in-depth detailed type of question. It's not like, well, we only have like 5 minutes left in this section, or if you won't feel rushed. It's kind of, oh, well, let's talk about it. It's what it's for.
Yeah, let's dive deeper.
Yeah, I love
the fish
shit.
classes are all 1-day classes already.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I'm only really taking 2 classes and pushing them aside.
Yeah, pistol and rifle.
And so I'm thinking that's what next year is going to be about.
It's good. Yeah, and not everybody wants to take the same class more than once.
Agreed. Me included.
Yeah. I don't mind taking it more than once, but
so who's Mudfinger?
Oh boy, where's that? Mudfinger is the best band ever created from Connecticut. That's my Uncle Glenn there.
Oh, well, hello, Uncle Glenn.
I haven't listened to Sleep Token yet.
I've heard them on XM.
I've heard some things about them.
They seem pretty cool.
They have cool outfits. That's always a bonus. I like cool outfits. I'm a sucker for outfits.
So it's weird is one of my favorite current bands is a Swedish band by the name of Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they wear outfits on stage is the thing I don't
like.
They
do?
Yeah.
Oh. What do they dress up like?
Clown royalty.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I'm going with. You'll have to check them out. They're awesome.
I'd have to see it.
So Sonny has a question up here.
Oh,
there it is. Can you deliver a baby that would be a hybrid of fear inoculum, psychosocial, and walk?
That's quite the baby. I can give it a shot for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like Sonny needs some theme music for his videos.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody needs cool theme music.
And you seem to be the go-to expert for that.
Yes, I did Tremis. I've done some work for Bulletin. Andrew of Combat Art Training. I've got a bunch of stuff for him. I just haven't sent it to him yet. I'm working on some stuff for him for some videos. And it looks like I have a 40-pound baby to deliver for Sonny.
Yeah. I think this could be a thing.
Man, I might have to learn how to play instruments now.
And not just the hairy trombone or the hairy bagpipes or the trombone.
Yeah, the meat whistle. Let's see, what else do I play?
The Diccolo.
Diccolo. Took 4 years of college to learn the Diccolo.
Steve Burrow, more drills, more pew pew, less blah blah blah.
Perfect. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yep. Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Show up and do something. Oh, cool. I'm glad everybody's all big friends together. That's awesome.
Yeah, Sonny was just down in Florida a couple weeks
back.
back.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
I saw some pictures.
Yep.
That's cool.
Sonny picked the right time to go to Florida. Zach Bush is going to Florida in like July.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, man, that's going to be warm.
That's going to be a sweaty one.
Bob McCracken. Gary, do you have a green laser Mantis Blackbeard you can part with tomorrow? Nope. I have
short notice.
I have 4 units, but they're all used. They're my loaner units. So they're all like fucking scummy on like for the boat carriers where people put them in dirty rifles. I sold 11 of them last week.
Oh, wow.
So I had one left. I ordered 10 and then sold the 11 of them. But I have not ordered another one. Sorry.
Well, that's unfortunate. You should have said something earlier.
Yeah.
Because the Mantis is awesome. It lets you do clicky clacks and do the shooty stuff.
Yeah. If you'd have said something Wednesday, I'd have had it here. Actually, if you'd have told me at noon today, I probably could have went and got one.
Steve Burrow. Do I know Steve Burrow?
He is alumni from Del Rio, Texas.
Oh.
So probably not.
Maybe someday we'll make it to Texas.
We're doing an immersive class down there. 3 days, not leaving the range for the whole 3 days.
Oh, cool.
So class is going to start Friday morning at like 8:30, and we're leaving Sunday at 5.
You're doing night vision stuff?
If you have night vision. If you don't, it's going to be a rough evening.
You're going to see a lot of flashes. That's about it.
We're staying at the range, and we're going to do a bunch of cool stuff.
That's good. Well, he'll get some night vision shooting in then. So we now have a place to do night vision stuff here as well.
Yes, we do. We just did our first study group back in the snow a couple weeks back.
Yep.
It was a full moon and snow on the ground. You almost didn't need any night vision.
It was kind of bright, yeah.
But we have a couple low light workshops, a white light pistol, a white light rifle, and a night vision rifle workshops coming up. We also, the day of the white light pistol, we have a shooting and moving pistol workshop during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna take like 2 hours off, go get some food and shit, and come back and do the pistol and white light at night.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be pretty cool. You can get 3 workshops in one weekend. So I assume I'll probably see you that weekend since you signed up for it's Memorial Day weekend. So we can shoot Sunday night, and most people will have Monday off. That's why I did them night stuff back to back, because a lot of folks will have a 3-day weekend.
Makes sense. Good scheduling.
Right,
he wants more drills and less talking. Let's see. Drills. Let's talk about drills. I was working on some grip diagnostic stuff this past week, using the doubles drill. It's Ben Stober.
YouTube, this is a cert gun. It shoots laser beams, and that's all it does. Oh, the dog heard the laser.
Klaus loves the laser clicky clackies. So go this way. It's backwards.
Yep.
So the doubles drill is, you don't see anything happening because there's no explosion in my hand. But if there was, it would look the same because I'm so good at recoil control.
I had an explosion. Oh, wait.
So doubles drill, the idea behind it is roughly, I didn't invent it. You should ask the guy who did to explain it perfectly. But what I get out of it is the idea is you shoot one aim shot, and then the second shot you shoot as fast as possible, essentially. So you're outrunning your vision and your reaction time, so you can't physically react to the sights to change what you're doing. And the idea behind it is let's say you have a
You
bad,
can see yourself up there.
I can
too.
see myself up there. Pow, pow, pow. So let's say you're pushing it down. It's too fast for you to fix during the second shot. So you'll see two shots above and below each other, and you can diagnose, all right, I'm doing something stupid with my hand that I shouldn't be. Or if you're using too much support hand, you'll see them look like that. But it happens under recoil, too fast for you to do anything about. So it's a good way of diagnosing. It's pretty cool. I learned a lot from it, and pretty much instantly, you get like instant feedback from it, which is amazing. I do have a bit of an issue with crushing the shit with my main hand. Support hand's doing its thing, but I over crush with my firing hand, which puts a lot of tension here, and it's
Is that because you have super strong hands from playing bass and day?
it's because I work in a chicken choking factory, and I choke the chickens all day, and that hand's really strong. Yeah, so if you're squeezing too hard and you have a lot of tension, you're going to get a sympathetic squeeze, and you're going to start doing this kind of thing, and that sucks. I want to stop doing that. So it's helpful to diagnose that. It's pretty cool. Funny story about squeezing the pistol too hard. I did a force on force class, the fight a couple of years ago, and I was on the ground, and without giving away the scenario, because that's rude, there were bad guys doing bad things, and I get up off the ground, and I go to, on the way out of the door, I shoot one of them in the guts, and it was awesome and badass. I'm like, oh, blah, 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 until I hear the mag hit the ground. So I squeezed it so hard, I just the fucking mag fell out. And I was like, fuck, that sucks. So, I do a reload on the move out the door, and I was like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen. So surprising things happen. I don't know. I probably squeezed it with like this finger curling underneath because I was on top of it.
It's possible that, because I know those guns get worked pretty hard. And we were there, we had magazines that stopped working because the ledge had been worn just from being used so often. Plastic wears quicker than steel does. And we had ones that you could shake like you were doing like an inertia bump without actually hitting anything or pressing the button, and we could get the mag to come out. So then we had to shit can those mags. So it might have been, you could have squeezed it enough to just change the geometry that it was barely hanging on already, and then off it went.
Some chickens, man.
Choking them chickens. So what's funny is I met TJ at a class. It might have been a fighting pistol class.
It was fighting pistol.
Down in Palmyra a number of years ago, probably 10 at this point.
At least.
That'd be 2014.
10 or 11 now.
Yeah, so more than a decade ago. And I don't know him from fucking Adam. He's just, one of the guys there, long hair and a flannel shirt. I was like, oh, so he plays grunge music. I don't even know if you're wearing a flannel shirt.
I was.
But I saw a picture of you at a class wearing a flannel shirt. I was like,
yep.
It may have been that class.
Yeah. There's videos of that class on Jordan Winkler's page.
Oh, yeah.
You can see me in there.
So during the introductions, TJ said, we're like, hey, who are you? What do you do? And there was like 35 people in class. So, it's hard to remember everybody and what they said. But you said, oh, I'm a painter. And in my mind, I was like, oh, like an artist. I mean, you are an artist, but not like a painting portraits artist.
No, not
but
for a very long time.
That's what I pictured in my head when you said you were a painter.
It's believable.
John Frost said he was a sculptor, which is also not what he does for a living. So, because I don't know what you would say he does for a living. He does sculpt, but I was like, wow, this must pay really good. Like when I finally saw his house, and he went, oh, it doesn't pay anything. Are you one of the X-Men?
Sugar mama. That boy.
And he was like, oh, I just tell people I sculpt because you didn't ask what I did for a living. You asked what I did.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But anyhow, I thought you were painting the Mona Lisa painter.
Yep.
And
no.
And I had no idea that the artistry that you did had nothing to do with painting. And the painting you did isn't what typically people would call artistic.
Not really.
It's more utilitarian.
Every once in a while it gets to be when I have something fancy.
Well, I see some pictures every once in a while, like cool shit you get to work on.
Yeah, doing like super high gloss stuff is fun.
And
that becomes.
And you do some like, well, I don't want to. This makes it sound very basic, but like repair work as well.
I do a lot of fixing.
Yeah,
A lot of people fuck shit up and then I go fix it.
and make it look like it's still new and fancy.
Yeah, like it didn't happen is the goal.
Because you're somebody said you were a Renaissance man. You are multi-talented. You build things as well, like guitars from like you go find a tree in the woods and
I punch it down with my brutal fists.
And a minute later it's a guitar.
Yeah, I haven't so I haven't finished a guitar in a long time, but I am currently working on a new one.
Well, that's cool. But I saw pictures of ones you had done stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit. He plays them, he builds them, he fucking repairs and paints things that you take for granted. But he showed me the before picture where it was fucked up.
Yeah. I like fixing stuff. It's better than getting a new one.
I can't argue with you.
That's the way it
well,
used
some
to be.
things you can't just go get a new one. So
That's a big part of it too.
You build a few instruments, I take it. One for Stephen.
Oh, is he on it? Oh, yeah. Yep. So I built him a Trossingen lyre, which is a really super old-fashioned version of like a harp that you play like up here with your fingers behind the strings. It's really weird, but it sounds really cool.
Did you ever build one of those before? Did you just say?
No, I just looked at some pictures on like Wikipedia of some really old ones that they like dug up out of the ground and was like, oh, I'll make one of those.
Yeah. So Renaissance man for sure.
There's a video of me playing that on my crappy YouTube, and one of the songs on the Flex and Riffs page is that recorded. Sounds really cool. It's really neat.
How about all that?
Yeah, I do a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool shit. Somebody that spent years of his life building things. I wouldn't even call it at the craftsman level, but certainly not the artistic level. So I can appreciate that part.
Thank you. I'm glad people enjoy my little projects.
Yeah, I'm most of the time when you're like, hey, let me show you this, I know whatever comes next is going to be cool. Like it's going to be some music related thing that I dig. It's going to be something you built with your hands that I can appreciate, or something gun related that.
You guys are too nice to me. You guys are too nice to me. Thank you.
Well, I got to butter you up because we need to finish the Rise of the Legion.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like the full, complete song, and not just the section that you hear at the beginning of the YouTube videos.
Yes. See, this is what you want. No movement there.
Dude, I look like Michael J. Fox when I do that. That's how I intend to record the solo for Rise of the Legion. Let my Parkinson's kick in.
And you start shaking it around. Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm going to hell for all this. So yes, that's the big special part of that complete version of Rise of the Legion is that
Gary will be playing the solo
on that guitar right back.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Sweet.
That'll be the lead guitar or additional lead guitar, whatever. Depends on my solos.
You can just play all the notes on the entire fretboard, then I'll just arrange them to sound really cool.
I like it. Now we're talking.
There we go. Who has questions about stuff?
I don't know.
Everybody wants to talk about guns. So let's talk about guns.
They don't. Nobody wants to talk about guns. They want to talk to you.
One guy does.
Who wants to talk about guns?
Nobody wants to hear about me. They want to hear about cool camo and night vision and laser beams.
Yeah. The only one that said more drills, more pew pew, less blah blah blah. I think Steve meant at class.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about laser beams. New ACAL's coming out soon, right?
Beginning of Q3. So we're in Q2 next week. So a couple months out.
All right.
I'm for excited.
I want to check one out.
We're looking at picking up. Dry Fire Mag has worked with the laser ammo people to do a resetting magazine, a magazine that resets the trigger while shooting the laser out of a laser cartridge.
For pistols.
For pistols. I have a laser cartridge floating around here somewhere. I don't currently know.
I got one of them little pink rhinos too.
Yeah.
But I hate the jacking of the slide thing. I think that's just a recipe for
the laser
training scars.
Ammo, they replaced the back of it so that instead of your striker going up and hitting that, it's the thing in the magazine that resets the trigger, goes up and hits it.
And it shoots like a little laser beam at it that tells it to
it'll
go or whatever.
Tell it to go and then reset the trigger inside of the magazine, whatever mechanism's in there. We'd be a dealer for them already, except they only have, I want to say, Glock, fat body Glocks, skinny Glocks, and SIG 320s. The macro is coming any day now. And the macro magazines will work in all the 365s. Will just have some extra sticking out the bottom. As soon as the macro is released, I got to buy 10 for my opening order. So I don't need 10 Glocks. Once the macro is released, we'll be dealers for those. So we can start doing like fish type classes.
Fish with pistol would be cool.
Because I don't want to buy a bunch of cert pistols.
No,
because there's only like 4 models available.
I was tempted to get one of these, but when you told me about the resetty thing, I'm like, oh,
because then you
use
can
my own,
your own sights, your own
jammy
optic, whatever, the trigger that's in your gun. And if you have something like a Glock 48, there is no cert gun for a Glock 48.
That's true.
You get 17s, 19s, 320s, MMPs. That's it. And it covers a lot, but like there's a bunch of other models of guns that are reliable and in common use at this point. And cert has not been.
They don't really seem to care at all about that kind of stuff. Which, fuck them. Somebody will make something better and cheaper that you can just jam in your gun.
Yep.
Oh well. You lose. You don't get to keep the gobstopper. I like the cert gun, but the idea of the having your own gun and having less guns.
Yep.
See, the milking thing happens if you use too much right hand. If you use more left hand, it evens out. Doubles drill is awesome. You guys should all go try that. Javier wants to know the best guitarist and best drummer of all time. I can't say best, but I think Chuck Schuldiner is probably one of the best guitarists ever. He's just got an awesome mix of melody and like everything is fucking awesome all the time. And the best drummer of all time is Glenn Scallon, my uncle. He helped me do the Halloween album. He played a couple of songs.
So like if we use that kind of criteria, I have to say the best guitar player is TJ. Like we have to pick the people we know. See, oftentimes
that's why we do this whole thing, is just so we can jerk each other off.
Usually, like when you ask someone, like, "Hey, if you had to pick the best, center fielder, but not one on your team," like that caveat gets you out of having to like say nice things about your teammates that may or not.
Well, they deserve the nice things though.
But whether you believe it or not, you should say it. So then you don't know if you truly are getting the right answer, or if it's you doing your duty,
doing your job,
and saying that your uncle is your favorite drummer.
Yeah.
Or that's the other thing, like best and favorite. Like I don't know who the fuck the best is.
That's a good point.
I know who my favorite is.
You know who's awesome right now? I can't think of his name right now. I think he's Brazilian. He plays all the songs with one hand. God damn, what's his name? He's on Instagram. We'll have to post a link later. But he's pretty incredible, and he's blowing up right now for being so proficient. And he can play entire like really difficult songs one-handed, and then he'll throw the other hand in, and then make it even more awesome. I thought that's pretty cool.
You'll have to.
I can't remember his name.
You have to hit me up with the link. I'll share it with people. Javier says Tony Iommi and Neil Peart.
Well, those are good choices.
Did he ask best?
He was missing fingers, man. He did it.
I mean, like we go back to best and favorite. Like those are different things. Because I'm going to go with Dimebag on guitar because he was unique, and I like all the solo shit. The solo-y parts are great, and his riffs were fucking fantastic too. So like I'm like, yeah, like I love, and he was an awesome person, totally awesome person. Changed my life in a way that anybody who's ever been in a class with me has benefited from my meeting Dimebag. Like just trust me, my attitude and demeanor and how I interact with other people changed from that evening.
Yeah, you told me about that story.
So that's makes them pretty cool. Drummers, I'm gonna go with Grant McFarland. And you're like, who the fuck is Grant?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
So he lives down below Harrisburg somewhere, and he's in a band called Galactic Empire, and they play metal covers of Star Wars music.
Oh, damn.
And they popped onto XM one day, I was driving home from Texas, and it was the theme song from the Book of Fett, the TV show about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So whatever, I was like, I don't even know if I've seen that show yet, but I have watched the show, and the intro song, it's fine, and they play a metal version of it, and in the metal version, when the drums are going on there, like the beginning, I was like, man, that dude sounds like he's pretty good. And then there's like a couple double bass parts that I was like, it was so good. I fucking Spotified them on my phone, and I listened to more shit. And then I called Mike Fiore, who probably isn't listening because he never does. But I called him and he was like, yeah, bro, what's up? I said, hey, it's a 2,000-mile trip or whatever from Texas back home. So all this driving, there is a possibility I could be killed in a car wreck. He's like, okay.
Great story.
I cannot die without knowing the name of my new favorite drummer. I need you to get on your Google machine and tell me who drums for Galactic Empire. And he goes, his stage name is Boba Fett. He wears a Boba Fett outfit when he drums. Everybody in the band, like the lead guitar player is Vader and their stormtroopers. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't help. He goes, hold on, give me a minute. A few minutes later, Grant McFarland. Perfect. He goes, they're from Pennsylvania? I had no idea.
Oh.
And
you should go meet them. You should get them to a class.
I should. I'm gonna go see them in May. I can't remember what fucking little podunk town they're gonna be in. $22 for a ticket. I was like, how can I not go? It costs more gas to get there than it will to see them. But I was like, Grant McFarland, that dude. When this is over, I'll play the Book of Fett theme song.
Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing somebody in person and be like, I like this.
Yeah.
Versus just
and I want to give them some money.
Phone.
Like pay them for a ticket and buy a t-shirt or whatever the fuck they make the most money on. Because I know like me streaming them on Spotify makes them fucking nothing.
Oh yeah, we get like 0.03 pennies per stream or something like that.
Yeah, I can't listen to you.
It costs more. It costs me more money to have the music available than I get out of it.
Great.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Zach Bush has popped in. Oh, Mike Oliver, one of my favorite metalheads, has popped in here too.
Hello.
Breaking
sir.
Benjamin is from PA. Breaking Benjamin, the two of the dudes in Breaking Benjamin were in a band called Lifer, which is just a local bar scene band, and I loved them. And the band broke up so the two guys could join Breaking Benjamin when Breaking Benjamin started. Oh. And I've hated Breaking Benjamin since.
So you named your son after
like, break this Benjamin, motherfuckers. But yeah, I'm glad that favorite drummer thing came up because it reminded me that I need to play
I'll check
stuff
it out.
from those guys for you.
Speaking of supporting people, did you know that if you buy... That's not up here. The Tremis signature gun.
Yes.
The beautiful rifle. You get a free class.
You get a free class. And what I did not put in the video, Midwest Industries has a coupon code, Tremis, TREMIS, saves you 10% on your order. That's 10% off of the signature rifle, and you get a free class.
It's basically free.
Yeah, basically how could you not buy one?
It is pretty sweet. I looked at it downstairs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
It gets my stamp of approval.
It should.
I hope so. My name's on it. They just got a hold of me on Tuesday and said, hey, you're going to need to send more of those certificates for classes. So
really,
that's a healthy sign.
They're moving pretty quick.
Yeah. Tremis pistol. So like an AR pistol, I
think that probably, yeah.
If the Supreme Court hears the pistol brace bullshit and sides with what is right, and pistol braces like happen again, there'll be a Tremis pistol. The issue is like Magpul stopped making braces. My favorite brace is made by Magpul, the BTR. And even though there's currently an injunction, that injunction isn't permanent. So we need there to be a permanent ruling that pistol braces are okay, so that companies will make more pistol braces, and companies that make guns will sell more guns.
Feel comfortable putting them on there
because they don't want to buy 100 pistol braces and tomorrow have the injunction lifted, and now they go, what do we do with these pistol braces? So when the pistol brace thing sorts itself out legally, so it will get more industry support, there will definitely be a Tremis signature pistol.
until then, yeah, you can get a Sharpie and just draw the logo on whatever you got.
I'll send a sticker.
Yeah,
Oh,
or sticker, even
a
better.
clear backed sticker, white, to fit right on the magwell. Favorite style of music besides metal? Non-metal bassists or guitarists that have influenced you?
One really awesome bassist. I wouldn't call him jazz. His name is Michael Manring. He has a really interesting bass. He has a big fretless bass, and each one of the tuners has like a device on it that you can flip like a cam lock, and it changes the tuning of that particular string. And they each have one on there. And while he's playing, he will hit notes and flip them back and forth with both hands, and he would like hit harmonics, then flip them, and it would like double in pitch and move around. He does really interesting stuff with the bass, which I think is really cool. Not really jazz. I don't know what you would really call it, but check him out. He's pretty cool. Let's see. Other non-metal stuff would be. I didn't prepare at all for any of this, so otherwise I'd have a big list of cool people for you to check out. Let's see. What else is cool?
Yeah, I don't even know the last time I like purposely listened to music that wasn't some type of metal, hard rock. I know there's things I've heard that I'm like, I like that. I just don't have it often.
I could post some links later of a bunch of really awesome stuff. Let's see, other non-metal based. Who else was really cool that didn't play metal? This is pathetic that I can't think of them off the top of my head. But there's a bunch. I promise. I'm not making it up. I had 1/4 of a beer and I'm fucking drunk.
It's a 9% beer.
Yeah, but Michael Manring is really awesome. He's pretty cool. Yves Carbone, I believe is how his name's pronounced. He is a mostly jazz and funk influenced bassist. He plays like 6, 7, 8, 9 string basses. He has a custom 12-string bass, which is the neck is like this fucking wide. It's incredible. He has some really cool stuff. I think he's French. He's got a song called Cloudy Day, which is really cool because he basically plays all the octaves himself because he has all of them available to him. So he'll do like a really high melody solo part up here, and then he'll have the main rhythm and the bass. Then he'd have like a sub contrabass, which is like an octave below that he's playing with his hand like down here. So if you have like a subwoofer, it's just being punished. It's really cool.
And he's French.
I think
maybe possibly.
I think he was speaking English in most of his videos.
Well, the dudes from Gojira are French.
Yeah,
they speak
They're
English
cool too.
They're certainly metal.
Yeah,
and awesome. Like totally, like that noise that they make. That's so easy.
I love that noise. Yeah, it's super easy, but it sounds incredible. The first time I heard that was Morbid Angel did that. Trey Azagthoth, another one of my favorite guitarists,
who also like pointy guitars.
I got to build one of those. They're sick. He's got like the bright Ferrari red one.
Yeah.
He made that noise all the time, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, it's such a good noise."
First time I heard it, I went, "How do you make that noise?"
You would never expect in a million years,
and like pre-YouTube,
until you see it.
You know, you're like, I don't know where to find this. I don't even know what to call this. So the first time I saw it played was the first time I saw Gojira live, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna do that thing." And I look up there. And there's this very minimal hand movement on the right hand, and the left hand did nothing. And I went, I can't. What? I don't even know what I just saw. This is bullshit.
It's basically it's a whole row of harmonics in over a fret at the same time, and a pick scrape, but instead of down the string, it's up all the strings, and you mute and pick the harmonics and scrape all at the same time. It's just like
it's awesome. I should have had like one ready to hit the
button. I would show you, but you probably couldn't hear it over the camera without it being plugged in.
Yeah, and the amp's on a different floor than the guitar.
Yeah, again, I didn't plan it ever.
No.
Same thing with the Bolton podcast I did, and that other podcast I did with Paul. Hope you're watching, Paul. And anything else I've ever done?
Vastly underprepared.
Yep.
I usually spend the reason that the podcast happens at 8:05 and not as 8 is because at 8 I'm never ready to start. Like, it
I think
has
we
to be.
sat down like 8:03.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck, why won't this light turn on? So Iroquois Foreskin said I turned him on to Ailstorm, and he saw them Wednesday. He sent me pictures.
Oh,
I was
good.
in class getting pictures from the show.
Oh,
I couldn't
awesome.
listen to them because I was in fucking class.
Yeah.
But because he sent little videos.
I gotta listen to this fucking video.
That was the classroom portion. So I didn't want to just be like listening to some cool pirate metal.
Yes, Formulas, Fatal to the Flesh. Fucking awesome. Really cool. I think that's the one with the cool painting. Hold on. One of them's got a really sweet painting. I have to look that up later.
Yeah, we'll share some stuff.
Yeah.
When we get off
I can't
screen.
remember what it's called. I think it's the Formulas painting. It's a famous painting, but anyway, they somehow called they called the guy who had the painting on display and was like, "Can we use that?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they did.
That was that easy.
I can't believe they got away with that. They were like, "Who are you? Metal band from Florida?" Well, whatever.
Okay,
Sure.
Well, I have to admit, like I used the music this morning for my for the intro to this live chat, or this afternoon. I did not ask anyone permission.
Nope.
Nope. I just
I'm sending you a cease and desist.
I was like, he'll either be okay with it or not.
Steven loves pointer guitars. All the pointer, the better. They're pretty.
I like
sweet.
points.
You want to be able to defend yourself with it.
So I had a couple of different Jackson King V's, and I loved that standing up, the bottom leg of the V I could move with my right leg and adjust the angle of the guitar, but I couldn't sit for fuck. And like on a whim, I tried a Warrior and went, oh, I can still stand up and move it with my leg on that little point.
Yeah.
I can sit it on my lap when I sit down and I'm a lazy fuck.
So you can see it.
And there are points. I was like, yes, this is the new guitar shape for me.
And it's small and it makes you look bigger.
Yes, it is not a large body guitar, other than that one long leg at the top, but still not as long as like a Rhodes. And then I read later that all the points were designed around the Jackson headstock. And I read it on my phone. I had to run upstairs and look at my guitar to go, oh, shit, they are. Like it is like just a bunch of headstocks sticking out all the directions. And
they love that shape. They're like, just take that and do 4 of them.
Make it go everywhere. So as it turns out, like legally speaking, the headstock shape is trademarkable, which Gibson and Dean got into a lot of fucking bullshit with. And it was all about the shape. Well, Gibson says the shape of the whole guitar is trademarkable. And that only kind of took hold. But the headstock, they absolutely, the court said, yes.
That's the defining
the
feature.
G-clef headstock is Fender's trademark, and et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, oh, well, Jackson was pretty smart. They made a whole guitar body that may not be able to be trademarked, but they just made it the shape of the headstock, which is absolutely trademarked. The downside is if I ever want a different brand guitar, I can't get a Warrior body because it's shaped after a trademarked headstock.
Well,
unless I just
allowed to,
get like
able to.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Foreskin, TJ here did the intro and the outro music to the videos and bulletins and some stuff for combat art training. And apparently now he has a large large thing to hurdle, large baby to deliver for Sonny.
And Gerald, yes, the stealth guitar is pretty sweet. It's basically like a soft version of that, a less painful version of one of those.
Well, we've been on here for like an hour and 10 minutes.
What?
It is like the longest live chat ever.
Damn.
And we barely talked about guns.
We didn't even talk about guns yet. Everybody's furious. They're mad that we're not arguing about dumb stuff.
Yeah, 9mm versus some other thing. 380 Magnum.
I choose 9. It's a bigger number. It's better.
Well, technically speaking, I guess if you Magnum to 380, it would be 9mm.
I suppose. It's the same size.
But with that, like we do have a class to go to in the morning.
Yes.
And we have some music to share with each other.
Should have been at it. You should be at it.
Yep. There's still time.
This is me threatening you to take some fucking training. Odin's caliber. Yes.
Fair enough. So Adam.
Yes,
something
Adam.
slower.
Good choice. I love slow stuff as well. It's just
I don't know if I would call
punishing.
Cemetery Gates slow.
It's definitely not their fastest song.
No. Although, like, I think it's one of their more well-written songs, right up until the outro when Dime is doing a squeal and then Phil does the vocal high Rob
Yeah,
Halford
that
thing.
part's awesome.
I changed the channel.
Oh, I love that part.
Right before Phil opens his mouth at the end.
I love that part. He wanted to give it a shot, and he went for it. I respect him for it. He couldn't hit the final note, so Dime had to do it for him, but it was still cool.
I didn't like that sound when Rob Halford invented it, and I don't want to hear Phil Anselmo do it either. One's good. I actually love the drumming in one, but not the double bass part that everybody thinks is the cool part.
Oh yeah.
During the slow verses when James is singing, Lars's drumming is very
Out of the way.
syncopated. Like it's like I'm not hearing the accented drum beats when I expect to hear them, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this.
Might not be on purpose.
It might be because he's bad, but I enjoyed it.
That's a good song. The lyrics are cool in that one.
Yeah.
Make more clicky noises. Get
More clickies.
the dog to freak out. Yep, he's still right there by
He's
the
right
door.
by the door.
What a good boy he is.
He knows. I said earlier, he loves the sound of the laser. That's how awesome my dog is. He hears light.
Yeah.
But he
Those
knows
shepherds are purebreds, baby.
the sound of the switch. Like it doesn't matter where we're at in this building. When that thing clicks, I hear pause next.
He knew you were like reaching for it. He could tell you were going to reach for it.
He's like, that sound of that gun coming out of that holster. That's the one I want.
Yeah, I'm excited for that dry fire mag thing. I'll definitely get one of those.
Yeah.
This dry practice is important. I don't really get to.
Something I'm doing.
We'll get to.
Oh
yeah, there you go.
I forgot that. I was going to mention it earlier. You guys can't see them, but around this room I have 4 or 5 of these guys up, the half scale targets. And the only thing I don't like about them is they got this huge USPSA A zone that doesn't represent anything.
Nothing important down here except what you had for lunch. So.
And as you guys know, I fabricated a steel template for full-size USPSA targets. Well, now we have one for the half-scale targets.
Oh my God. There it is.
So you can get the Tremis Dynamics Dwarven target template for half-scale. And it gives you the brain, the heart, the vitals, and then we call these down here Janes, which is short for peripheral shots. There's an Easter egg behind that as well. And then you can trace it with the pen.
Trace it.
And then you can have I'll show you how I did it on this one here. It's on the wall. So then you can have some dry fire targets with what I consider to be the proper aiming zones.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing is I'm collecting a delivery of these in the morning. And so probably Sunday, Monday, you will be able to purchase on the Tremis Dynamic websites a 5-pack of these targets and a target template so that you can make more yourself for some amount of money. I don't know how much these are costing me. I'll find out in the morning when I get them. And so these were like $1 a piece, so $5, and have this added together, and you'll be able to get yourself a dry fire practice kit.
Mr. Foreskin believes he needs more dry practice with pistol.
He does.
I agree.
He does.
Gary would know.
He took fish with Aiden.
Nice.
Fish 1 and 2.
Good.
And which was a little bit of UTM, but a lot of Mantis, Blackbeard, and he definitely could use the dry fire practice.
We all could. Everybody could, especially with pistol. Rifle's always more fun, but you have a pistol on you every day,
and
you only have a rifle.
When you get better with a pistol, it directly translates into getting better with a rifle. The opposite is not true. You can get good with a rifle, and it doesn't do much for your pistol work, but every percent you get better with a pistol, you get that same percent better with a rifle as well. Blackbeard X. Yep. I don't I did a review on one on this YouTube channel. There is a review on the Blackbeard X. So it is like the X unit, X10. It's actually an X2 mixed with the Blackbeard. The problem is the Blackbeard works great on the Laser Academy app, and the X part has its own app, and they don't work well together on the same device. Like you have to have one running in the background and you can't see your results, or you can run it on two devices. So like a phone and a tablet. And I find that most of my practice is better using the X unit or the Blackbeard, not both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that I have an X10 that I can put on the rifle, I can also take it off and put it on my pistol and do pistol work with the X unit.
It's cool to have them separate.
It's more useful. It just costs a little more that way.
I have both. I really like the Mantis Blackbeard. It's pretty awesome. I did Ryan Training Group CQB class with it, and
Same, we were there together.
yes, we were. And
I was so miserable.
you save a lot of money when just a laser comes out for free versus lots of bullets.
Yep. Or $1 around UTM rounds.
Yeah, and you can that'd be thousands and thousands of dollars in UTM, and you can get so much more out of it. Okay, so there's no recoil, big deal.
Yeah,
that's not really.
I can work a lot of other
That's
stuff.
not where you're working on anyway.
Mantis is making one for an AK. I have seen it. When it gets here, I don't know. I thought it was going to come out before the 308 and the Scar, but it did not. But it's definitely coming. Like I have been approved to say it is coming.
Cool.
Because I've known about it long enough. There was a time when I wasn't allowed to talk about it.
You love keeping secrets.
Usually I'm so good at them because I forget. I'm old. OG Mantis for pistol, but having to run the slide after each shot is not cool. Here's the thing. You can put it on your live fire gun and the gun shoots, kapow, and the Mantis still works. So that's the one other cool thing about having the X unit separate. You can use it for live fire.
Yeah. I use the app for the Blackbeard all the time. It's pretty sweet. It does have its issues. I think it wants you to have such an incredibly perfect trigger press that it like hammers your like score or whatever if it's not, whereas you 100% would have got like a perfect shot.
Yep.
So you got to keep that in mind while you do it, but the timing part is great to like see what you're doing. I think having data that you can track over time is really useful instead of like, that was fast. Was it?
Like, how fast?
How fast was it? Was it
And
faster than yesterday?
And then that's the thing. Like, I don't care about the time. Like, oh, my splits or point, whatever. Are your splits getting faster?
Mhm.
Or is your draw getting faster? If it's getting, like, because I'm looking for improvement, not necessarily for perfection. So, like, some people get hung up on that. You have to have a sub 1 second draw. I'm like, look, I just need your draw next week to be faster than your draw last week. Like, the practice in between needs to be working. That's what I'm looking for. So don't get too hung up on just the raw numbers. It's just a good way to track. Is it trending the right direction?
Aiden, I think for force on force stuff, I think there's going to be a lot more airsoft things coming. I mean,
I think that the downside to airsoft is since you can't convert like your gun to an airsoft gun,
that's a big downside.
it's going to require you to buy your training airsoft
Yep.
gun. Like I got a pile of Glock 17s. Actually, there's one sitting right there with the orange handle, which for pistol stuff, most everyone, like I can hand them a Glock 17 and a Glock holster and go, you'll get everything I need. You need out of this.
Yeah.
But when it comes to rifles, with how long they are and how long is the stock and what type of optic is
weird
on it.
crap you have bolted all
Where
over
is the
it.
light? Is it on? I don't have my light on this side. I activate it this way. As an instructor, I can't cover all the bases for my students like I can with UTM, where I just hand you a bolt carrier and go, change it out in your rifle now.
Yeah.
So it'll require more of an investment on the student's part when it comes to rifle stuff, which I'm okay with. Like I got an airsoft rifle sitting over here in the corner because I bought one for me.
I bought one too for the diagnostic stuff.
Right. I
month
just
later.
need everyone coming to class to be willing to invest in their own.
Yeah, that's tough. That's the awesome part about the Mantis is you shove it in your gun and it's the same.
Yep.
You know, every rep you do is the same. You're not like, okay, well, I'll do it wrong.
And it
until I get
doesn't,
back
and it
home.
doesn't do so much in force on force, but if you're doing force on paper, the Mantis works just fine.
Yeah, if you have somebody watching, they know where your hits are and they can
Yeah.
tell you what you're doing. Save a lot of money on cardboard too.
Yeah, because you can keep reusing it over and over.
Though nothing beats shooting the balloon targets and watching them die and fall down.
Huh. So Aiden and Iroquois Foreskin were partners.
Oh yeah, they're buddies now. They should be
And
buddies.
now they're like, now they want to exchange phone numbers. And
Oh, that's
stuff.
awesome. See how good this is. We're doing such good things for the community.
And because TJ speaks so highly of Aiden, I'm going to go ahead and say, Aiden, before you give him your phone number, he has my phone number. And if I could go back in time, I'm not saying that I wouldn't give it to him, but I might think about it a little longer than I did the first time I gave it to him.
Reading comments, so
Yep.
entertaining.
So you know Steven,
Yep.
and
We did some fish stuff together.
he hasn't, you haven't brought him with you down here.
Oh, other Steven.
Yeah.
Ah.
He lives far away.
Oh.
You're welcome to come hang out, though. Obviously,
You should come take a class.
I just assumed that you guys were like, hanging out during the week together.
no.
Oh, fair enough.
Technically, I've never met in person.
Oh.
Those kind of buddies.
Right on.
Yeah, that's the cool part about the internet. Yes, FN57s are insane expensive. The laser stuff is awesome, but there is no substitute to doing the real thing. Dry practice is awesome, and I love it. I talk about it all the time. I don't get to live fire very often. It's usually just when I'm here, mostly, and then a couple of times at home here and there. But you got to do the real thing because
It's
a
not
little different.
It's not the same, but it is a way to get a lot of, I don't want to say free. It's free. Like, you're still investing time and effort when you dry practice, but most folks are able to squeeze in, like, for instance, the ghost rifle back there. It never has fired a live round. Like, no part of that gun has ever fired a live round. UTMs and Blackbeards are it. So for me to get 3 minutes of dry practice in is no problem. I just grab it, and I got targets floating around the room, or I can clear my house on the way to the basement, whatever. And I got dry practice without having to go somewhere. It makes it easy to get more reps in with the laser shit. So that's where I think it's not the same, but I can get a lot more time.
You could do it more often too.
Yeah.
Instead of like, all right, big range day once a month. It's like you could pick it up 6 times in the same day and do
I usually
45 seconds.
I'll leave that sit beside my desk. And like, if I got to go take a leak, like, I leave the computer and I clear the house to the bathroom, and then I clear it on the way back. And every picture that's on the wall is a target. So like, there's the wedding photo.
My eyes.
I shoot myself, not my wife.
Oh,
I
okay.
love her.
Good man. Good job.
I hate myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the big advantages with the laser stuff. I did a year that 2023 was my no live fire year. And it wasn't no live fire because I'm a firearms instructor. I still had to do like demos and shit.
Mhm.
So I just said I would not shoot more than 1,000 rounds. And my goal was no more than 1,000 rounds of rifle, 1,000 rounds of pistol. I shot about 400 rounds total between pistol and rifle in 2023. And doing bold and colds and small dot drills, I could not see a lick of difference in my accuracy. And my bold and colds, I think, had more movement after no live fire. I did B8 bullseyes at 25 yards under time, and was getting what did I do the other day? Like a 96 out of 100 at 25 yards in 18 seconds. I was like, I don't think my shooting ability has suffered with not shooting live rounds for many live rounds for a solid calendar year. I've already shot more live rounds in 2024 than I did in all of 2023. So it definitely was a low year live fire for me. And because I still dry fired a bunch, I don't think anything really changed. Now, I don't know if I continue to only dry firing continually
I think there's a certain point where it'll
start to
yeah.
to go off. But in the
But-
amount that I did last year, I maintained.
Mhm.
So certainly dry fire is worth more than most people give it credit for. He's something. He's been drinking, I'm sure. It's
He's
like
wonderful.
9:30 at night, so there's no way he hasn't been drinking.
Oh, that's awesome.
So anyhow,
Who
now
else needs a class? Let's see. Everybody in that chat
yep.
needs to come train some more.
Unlike the guys that you would
Everybody watching also needs to come train.
say, the folks that you'd be like, that guy probably doesn't, is the guy that's going to say, oh yeah, I do. Like somewhere up here was Sonny, and you'd be like, oh, Sonny don't need to train. And so like, fuck yeah, I'm slipping. I need more. All right. So at any part, I don't think we missed anything in the last few parts. We're hour and a half in. We've got music to share before we call it an evening. So I'm thinking we should pop smoke out of here, call for a hot extract or something, whatever they say.
Oh, yeah.
Cool stuff. And we'll have you on as a guest next time you're down during a live chat
That sounds good.
evening.
We'll talk.
I usually do them on Wednesday, and you're never here on a Wednesday. So
Yeah. This just happened to work out good that way.
I moved it to Friday for the classes I was taking, so
Mhm.
it worked out well. But at any rate, we'll get out of here. Go share some stuff, and we'll see. I'll see all you guys next Wednesday, 8:05. And I bet you TJ will be in the chat as well. So on the way there is training tomorrow. Well, Mr. On the way there, what training are you taking tomorrow?
Well, he's on his way, so it must be far. Good to have you here, Stephen. Thanks for checking it out.
I know what training On the way is taking. I'm just waiting for him to answer.
Oh. You know everybody's secret names and their real names.
Well, some of them. Some of them I do not. Like whoever asked me about the Blackbeard, will I have one tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Oh. Well, then you should have asked earlier.
But if they'd asked me at noon, I know where I could have picked one up. That
Oh, well.
I guess Mr. On the way there isn't going to answer.
He's driving. He's busy.
Rifle, what's the name of the class? Mr. On the way there is taking shooting and moving carbine.
Oh, good. I can't wait to meet you.
All right. So with that, we're out of here. And we will. I'll see you all on Wednesday.
Popping.
And we'll have a blast tomorrow and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
Any words you want to give your way out?
I don't know. You should just go train a bunch. You ain't gonna be awesome as you think you are.
There you go. Go train a bunch. You're not as awesome as you think you are.